So you just dropped a ton of money on an RTX 50 series graphics card, and you're probably wondering why your FPS doesn't look like the numbers you've seen online, or you simply just want more FPS. I'm going to show you exactly how I optimize every NVIDIA graphics card, including the RTX 5090, step by step. From clean and debloated driver installs, control panel setups, and advanced tweaks most people don't even touch. By the end, you'll be running 10 to 15% faster than stock for completely free. Let's start. First, we're going to simply uninstall our current GPU drivers. Grab display driver uninstaller from the link in the description. First, we need to boot in the safe mode, so press Windows key and R, type msconfig, and then go to your boot tab, check safe boot, press apply, press OK, and then restart your PC. Once back on desktop, we're going to press Windows key and R again and type msconfig. Then go to boot tab and uncheck safe boot right here. Then press apply and then press OK, but do not restart yet. This is just so next time you restart using DDU, it won't go into safe mode. Now open DDU, and then you want to press OK on this. Uncheck 3A system restore point if you don't want to make a system restore point. However, I'm just going to leave this. Check remove physics, and then uncheck remove NVIDIA broadcast, and uncheck remove the NVIDIA control panel from the Microsoft Store. Then you can press close, select device type, GPU, and then make sure it's on NVIDIA. Then simply just click clean and restart. This removes leftover files, registry entries, telemetry, and profiles that even NVIDIA's own uninstaller leaves behind. I see this every week on client systems. People update their drivers 10 times without ever fully cleaning them. And that's why performance tanks or stutters return. Next, we'll install a clean NVIDIA driver using NV Cleanstall, the tool that lets you strip out all the useless junk NVIDIA bundles into your driver package. Open NV Cleanstall and then just make sure it's set to install best driver for my hardware, which is going to be the latest NVIDIA drivers. Then press next. And then here's where you can check HD audio via HDMI if you need HD audio, but it's optional if you don't use it. Then you can just leave everything here unchecked unless you want to install the NVIDIA app for clipping. Then press next. On the installation tweaks page, check the first two options. You can also check disable Ansel if you will not be using any sort of in-game filters using NVIDIA app. Then check show expert tweaks, check disable driver telemetry, and check disable HTCP. And make sure at the bottom the rebuild signature checkbox and the last one are checked. Then press next. Then press install, or you can build this as a package where it has the specific GPU driver debloated with all the installation tweaks in case you need to install this on a different PC or offline. Let's talk about this quickly. The whole what's the best driver version topic, it's honestly one of the most pointless things in the PC space. Driver performance differences come down to game specific. One version might gain you 2 average FPS in Call of Duty, but perform exactly the same in other games. The real issue isn't which driver you're on unless it's a widespread issue among a game or a GPU model. It's how clean and optimized your driver is. That's why I focus on display driver uninstaller and NV Cleanstall. Those two steps already fix 90% of driver related performance loss. Now let's optimize the NVIDIA Control Panel. Right click on your desktop and go to NVIDIA Control Panel. Go to adjust image settings with preview, use my preference emphasizing and set this to performance. Then go to manage 3D settings and do this. Power management mode, set to prefer maximum performance. Low latency mode, you can leave this off if the games that you play have NVIDIA Reflex low latency enabled. Then scroll down, texture filtering quality set to high performance. Threaded optimization, you can leave auto, triple buffering off. Then scroll down and make sure VSync is turned off if you don't use G-Sync. Then press apply. This alone stabilizes frame times massively. Also, right click on your desktop and head over to display settings and ensure your refresh rate is set to the maximum. Next, let's go a level deeper, NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Go to the link in the description and download Inspector from the GitHub. Open it. Make sure it's on global driver profile and make these key changes. Scroll down and CUDA Force P2 state, set this to off. This prevents your GPU from running in a lower performance state during heavy loads, especially noticeable on high refresh monitors. Then scroll down, R-bar enable, set this to enabled even if it's disabled in BIOS. R-bar options, set it to the one that is set to 0x1, and R-bar size limit set to the one that has Red Dead Redemption 2 in the value. Then press apply changes on the top right. Now, in Windows, head over to display settings and then go to graphics, advanced graphics settings, and ensure hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is turned on. Now, if there is variable refresh rate as a setting right here, turn it on if you're using G-Sync, however, leave it off. Then we're going to restart our computer and head over to our motherboard's BIOS by spamming delete to ensure that resizable bar support is enabled. So on my Asus monitor, all I have to do is go to advanced mode, advanced tab, and then PCI subsystem settings, and just enable above 4G decoding and resize bar support. If resize bar support is grayed out, this could be because your system isn't compatibility support module. So go to CSM under boot for Asus and make sure this is set to disabled. However, if your Windows is not installed correctly, this is going to make Windows not load up. So please double check that you are on UEFI and not CSM. Then head over to exit and save changes and reset. Now for the fun part, free performance. Open up MSI Afterburner, and here's the method I use for every RTX 50 series card. Power limit, you want to make sure this is maxed out, and core clock, I like to start at 200, and memory clock, nearly every RTX 50 series is able to do plus 2000 because of GDDR7 memory. Then press apply. You can run a benchmark like TimeSpy or a game like Call of Duty to test for stability. These settings almost always work on 50 series based on hundreds of PCs I've overclocked by us. These settings almost always work on 50 series based on hundreds of PCs overclocked by us. You could also use curve editor to undervolt slightly. For example, 950 to 975 millivolts for 2800 megahertz boost. That's how you can also use curve editor to undervolt slightly. For example, 950 or 975 millivolts for 2800 megahertz of boost. That's how you gain efficiency and reduce temperatures while still keeping your higher boost clocks. On average, this nets you around 10 to 15% higher FPS with no hardware changes. Now let's look at real results after doing all of this. Same system, same conditions. In Call of Duty at 1440p with esports settings, optimized, I got around 331 FPS. Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p with ray tracing overdrive settings, we got around 125.25 FPS. Counter-Strike 2 at all low settings, 1280 by 960 for the resolution, I got around 1300 FPS in the CS2 Heaven benchmark. The difference isn't small, and this is before we even touch deeper Windows or BIOS level optimization. That's going to be a wrap on my RTX 50 series optimization guide. If you want your entire system optimized from BIOS to drivers to Windows, that's literally what I do every day. My team and I at Zilly.net have optimized thousands of systems for pros and competitive gamers. We'll completely reset and rebuild your setup from the ground up for maximum FPS, lowest latency, and zero stutters. Links in the description. Check it out if you want your rig to perform like mine in these tests. Hit like if this helped, and I'll catch you in the next one.